Grand Rising Elizabeths, and welcome to the Grand Rising Elizabeth Show. Today, we're going to talk about or discuss why monitoring glucose levels matter and the impact it has on daily life and how education and prevention can lead to a healthier community. So please welcome our incredible host, Sister Deitra Covington, who is bringing the awareness to the importance of glucose monitoring and how it can empower individuals to take control of their health and wellness. Deitra?
But thank you so much, Sister Stacy, and grand rising to you all. And I am it's pleasurable for me to discuss this topic because I live it every day. I really check my glucose levels every day, and I know my numbers and where I am with all of this because I'm really trying, it's my goal to get get make sure my health is upstanding as it can be. Okay, I want to start by discussing blood glucose is the amount of sugar found in the bloodstream. Glucose is the body's main source of energy and comes from the foods we eat, especially carbohydrates such as fruits, breads, rice, pasta, and sweets. And so when your numbers are high, those are the things you need to look at what you're eating. Carbohydrates, if your numbers are high, it's because you're eating a lot of carbohydrates, which that's what I find in my life. The hormone insulin made by the pancreas helps move glucose from the blood into the body cells where it is used for energy. When blood glucose levels are too high or too low, it can affect the body's ability to function properly. And we want our bodies to function properly, so we need to be on touch with that. Healthy blood glucose levels are important for energy production, brain function, muscle activity, overall body health. Blood glucose levels can be affected by food intake, as we discussed, exercise, stress, illness, medications such as steroids, diabetes, or other health conditions. Regular blood glucose testing helps monitor blood sugar levels and can help prevent complications related to diabetes and other metabolic conditions. So this is a big field, big area for us to be aware of. And reading on, glucose is the body's primary source of energy, which is interesting, but it is. After a person eats food containing carbohydrates, the digestive system breaks them down into glucose, which enters the bloodstream. The pancreas releases insulin, like I said before, a hormone that helps move glucose from the blood into the body's cells. So the body is doing some stuff. It's amazing that as I think about it, and what's going on in my body, it's amazing that all these things are happening. And once inside the cells, glucose is used to produce energy that powers the body's activities, such as breathing. That's important. Moving muscles, thinking and brain function, heart function, important, truly. Cell growth and repair, important. Any extra glucose that is not immediately used is stored in the liver and muscles for later energy needs. Maintaining balanced food glucose levels help the body function properly and supports overall health. How cool is that? Okay, maintaining healthy blood sugar levels is important because glucose provides the body with energy needed for normal daily functions. When blood sugar levels stay within a healthy range, the body's organs and systems work more effectively. Similar. Benefits of healthy blood sugar levels. provides steady energy throughout the day, supports healthy brain function, like I said before, focus and mood, helps maintain a healthy weight. And that's important for a lot of people too. They're trying to gain or lose weight, improves heart and blood vessel health, important, supports proper muscle and nerve function, and that's critical. These nerves promotes better healing and immune function. So it's a lot that goes into this blood glucose and making sure our numbers are good. Glucose is the body's primary source of energy, like I said before. After a person eats food containing carbohydrates, the digestive system breaks them down into glucose, which enters the bloodstream. Before I go further, I'm just talking. Is there anything anyone would like to say? Okay, all right. The pancreas has two main functions. Digestive function. The pancreas produces digestive juices called pancreatic enzymes. The reason this area stands out to me is because it was an actor that passed because his pancreas failed him. He had cancer. What was his name? He was in Dirty Dancing. He was the star of Dirty Dancing. And I don't know if anybody remembers him, but he passed because of pancreatic cancer. And so when I read this, I think about him because I was so surprised. I mean, he was exercising, dancing, but it's more than that that keeps you here, I guess, you know?
Talking about Patrick Swayze.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Patrick Swayze, yes. But yeah, as I read through this, I thought about him because first of all, I was surprised that he was dealing with something like that, but realizing now it's more to it than just exercising. You know, it's good to exercise, but it's more to this body than exercising.
Aretha Franklin also passed from pancreatic cancer.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Well, this is an important area, so we got to make sure we're in line with this. But as I was saying, these enzymes help break down the carbohydrates into sugars, the proteins into amino acids, the fats into fatty acids and glycerol. The enzymes are released into the small intestine through the pancreatic duct. Hormonal function. The pancreas secretes hormones into the blood to regulate blood sugar levels. Important hormones include insulin, which lowers blood glucose, glucagon raises blood glucose, and the pancreas is therefore important for both digestion and the control of blood sugar. Okay, now I'm going to a different section. The purpose of regular blood glucose testing. The purpose of regular blood glucose testing is to monitor the amount of sugar in the blood and ensure that blood glucose levels stay within a healthy range. Testing helps individuals understand how their body responds to food, physical activity, stress, medication, and daily habits. The main purpose of blood glucose testing is it detects high blood sugar or hyperglycemia and low blood sugar or hypoglycemia. And this helps manage and monitor diabetes treatment plans, guides decision about diet, exercise, and medication use, prevents serious health complications caused by uncontrolled blood sugar. Woo-wee, okay. It's not too much. We're able to do this. I'm able to do this. But I want to say that there are some risks to high blood sugar. Consistently high blood sugar can lead to serious health complications, including the following: heart disease, kidney damage, vision problems, nerve damage, and poor circulation. I mean, as I read those, I'm thinking about people I know that are going through situations like each of these. And high blood sugar is commonly associated with type 2 diabetes. And we might know someone who has that condition too. But there are risks with low blood sugar. Blood sugar that becomes too low can cause the following: dizziness, shaking, confusion, weakness, and fainting. That's interesting because I'm thinking about a time when I did faint. I had no idea why. But I did. But I didn't hurt myself. I didn't. So it was okay. But it was just weird. Low blood sugar can occur in people managing type 1 diabetes or other glucose-related conditions. But the overall important thing to remember that keeping blood sugar levels balanced helps reduce the risk of chronic disease, improves overall wellness, and supports a healthier, more active life. Nice little summary. Okay, now there are some serious health complications that can arise when it's not monitored. And that's heart disease, kidney damage, nerve. I think I spoke on these, yeah. Nerve damage, vision problems, and poor wound healing. So those are some things to keep an eye out. So when they occur, these serious health complications occur, you might can think about, I can think about, okay, how are my levels? I need to check my blood glucose levels. And then it does improve as we keep an eye out on the levels. We get better energy levels when we maintain, improve mood and concentration, increase awareness of how foods and activities affect the body. Because sometimes things, you're feeling kind of weird. It's like, okay, what's going on? I mean, but we have to pay attention. I think we had a show on that too, where we talked about, paying attention to the body. The body will tell you what's going on, or if anything is going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Who should regularly test blood glucose? You might be sitting here wondering, I mean, do I fit in this category or not? People with diabetes, type 1 diabetes, type 2, and gestational diabetes. So if you have any of these conditions, it's good to make sure you check your levels. The individuals at risk, those that have a family history of diabetes, because you might not have it, but it might be really deep in your family, which it is in mine. A lot of my folks have this diabetes. Obesity or overweight. I'm trying to gain weight, so I don't fit that one. High blood pressure. My pressure is actually on the lower side. Sedentary lifestyle. Now, I need to work on that one because I tend to sit a lot more than I want to. Health conscious individuals, which is interesting because you would think they would be on top of glucose levels and things, but sometimes not. Athletes, they always run around doing what they got to do, but they need to make sure those levels are still good. And individuals monitoring wellness or nutrition goals. It's just good to know what your levels are. Okay, now I want to talk about the methods of blood glucose testing, because this is something that we can actually do on our own, which I do. I do for myself. One is the finger stick glucose testing. Now, on my presentation slides, I had a picture of the finger stick testing. that you can do. But next time, I'll show it next time. But you can't, actually, I can actually get the real one because I do it every day, so I have it. But then you have a continuous glucose monitoring device that it connects with your skin. Oh, you may have one. Do you have yours handy?
Yeah, well, I have it on my stomach, but this is the
Okay.
one that I take.
Okay.
The one that I inject. It's called Dexcom G7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I use this all the time. And it lasts about 10 days. And every 10 days, I have to change it out.
Okay.
I love it because I always know what my numbers are.
That's great.
And sometimes they
Great.
dip pretty low, which means
Okay.
get up and go get something to eat.
Oh, it changes when you eat something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It lets you
Absolutely.
know, like you can see your numbers in real time. I had one a few years ago, and I'm considering getting another one because the finger pricking 3 times a day is not a fun thing to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Uh, you can see it in real time, and you can make adjustments in real time. That's the beauty about it. You know immediately what spikes it up and what doesn't because you can see it. And the better technology, there's an app on your phone, and it usually information connects to like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. So you can really, there's no reason for you not to know exactly what your number is with a Dexcom. Or I
Oh,
think there's
good.
another one called a Freestyle Libre. I think is the other brand that some people use as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can actually buy one. This is mine. My current numbers are 87. And
That's good.
can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see this line here?
Yeah.
This line tells you how well it's, whether it's steady or not. And then if I go to like the last 24 hours, you can see the
Ooh.
ups and downs.
Right.
So it always stayed within range because I got my range to stay with below 150. So I
Okay.
never want to see it go over 150 and under 70. So I always do that. And then another good thing about it is it also shows you trends of what's going on with you. And
Okay.
it'll say like the usage average glucose. So over the last I think it was 14 days, my average glucose was at 93.
Okay.
And then it also gives you an average glucose index, which mine is now 5.5.
Okay.
These aren't 100% accurate, but they are in a window, I think, of somewhere between 10 and 20 points. So,
Okay.
I mean, the average glucose is between 10 and 20 points. And the last time I had my hemoglobin A1C checked, which is the GMI, which is currently on here, 5.5, it was 5.2. So
Okay.
it shows sometimes on here a little bit higher than it actually is, but
Okay.
that's not a big problem at all. And the only reason why it does that because it's not like the finger poke. The finger poke, you get actual blood.
Right.
The glucose monitor, you getting serum from your body. It's not actual
Oh,
blood.
well, thanks for sharing that, Sister
Mhm.
Stacy.
You're welcome.
But I did say there were 3 methods. We talked about 2, but the third one is where you actually can go to a laboratory and get tested. And that's where they give you the A1C test, or the fasting blood glucose test. And so you can get it that way too, if you don't have, anything personal to do at home. All right, let's see. Now, what's the tips for accurate blood glucose testing? First of all, wash your hands before you test. Test at recommended times, and keep a testing log. I mean, it's good to keep a log of when you test, what results you get. Because I do it with blood pressure testing. I have a logbook for that. And follow healthcare provider instructions and maintain equipment properly. So you're gonna get different equipment, whether you something you can plug into your skin, or you can finger prick or whatnot. But it's good to keep things in a good state. Okay, now we're going to talk about the role of lifestyle in blood glucose control. First of all, healthy nutrition, balanced meals, and monitoring your carbohydrate intake. Because as I talked about previously, carbohydrates are what's going to boost those numbers. And you want to stay, well, I want to stay really ideally between 70 and 80. Not going much over 80, but that's me. But when I eat carbohydrates, they're gonna go up. So I know when it goes up quite high, I've been eating some carbs. Physical activity is a benefit. Because it will improve my insulin sensitivity, that hormone. So I try to work out, because I think we had a show not a couple weeks ago or so where I was doing resistance training. I talked about the different things we can do. So I do that every day, something. There's a lot out there to do. And then you have stress management and sleep. Those are very important. I gotta monitor my stress and make sure I sleep through the night. I mean, get at least a good 4 hours of sleep. I mean, I like more, but if I get at least a good solid 4, I think I'm doing good. But that's something to think about. Are you sleeping well through the night? Because a lot of things happen wonderfully when we sleep. Okay, now I want to talk about the impact of food, exercise, stress, and medication on blood glucose. Come on, words. Come on out. Blood glucose refers to the amount of sugar, like I said, in the bloodstream. Food and blood glucose. Food has the greatest effect on blood sugar levels. Foods that can increase blood glucose. Sugary foods and drinks may raise blood glucose quickly. So be mindful when you eating some sugary and a nice piece of cake. I'm not saying this because
it's not that it
say it
could.
again.
It does. It does.
Yes, and I mean it's funny. I'm thinking about eating a piece of cake right this very minute. I'm like, I hope it ain't raising my levels while I'm thinking about it, because I sure can't taste it.
You know what? Last night I was at a family function, and because I just came out the hospital with that DKA 3 weeks ago, literally, I was like, look, I'm like, you know what? We ain't even gonna touch the dessert table. We just
Right.
was so full of cakes and cookies, um, and everything else, and I just knew I'm like, my body is so sensitive after that episode that I can't.
I
So
know.
making better decisions and knowing what to do. Now I ate more protein last night. I did not
Okay.
had a little bit of mac and cheese just cause. More vegetables. I was just mad there was no vegetables at the function. I'm like, if they said something, I would have made a pot of greens or a pot of green beans to go with everything else. It wasn't enough
Okay.
vegetables, but just knowing to make better decisions. It's like I think they had some mini cookies, like really, really mini. So I had 3 mini cookies, but other than that, we ain't touched that dessert table because I already knew. I'm like, yeah, that's just gonna mess up everything. And then we also have
Exactly.
people have to be careful and read the back of packaging, the back of they hide sugar and that high fructose corn syrup in everything.
Almost everything.
The common
Everything.
relish that everybody likes to use for the potato salad,
Yeah.
and everything. Look on the back because I think the common brand has high fructose corn syrup. What
Yeah.
is it? Barbecue sauce? The most common.
That's true.
That baby Ray's is the worst thing ever. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's a black guy, and I think his name D Hughes. D Hughes has a really good sugar-free brand of condiments. that doesn't, doesn't have high fructose corn syrup or sugar. So you have to really look at the back of your packages because they sneak that stuff in everything.
Oh, they do. They do. I mean,
But
because the
then we do
sales.
too. We do too, as just people during the holidays. Okay, I looked at the potato salad. I tasted it. I said, "Damn, I taste sugar." I what else did we have? Because sugar was in almost everything. I went to Steve's one day. Even the greens had a lot of sugar in it. So what
Mm.
the hell? It is in everything. So I bought some Lakanto monk fruit sweetener, which will
Okay.
go 1 to 1 with regular sugar, and it does not register in your body at all.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I'm going to test it.
I like monk fruit. I love monk fruit because it's
Yeah, I'm
low.
going to test it with. Have you cooked with it?
Um,
Not yet.
I mean, I typically don't. Hold on.
You don't what?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm walking back to the apartment and the garbage truck was coming, so I had to mute myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Um,
going to try it out this week. Because it tastes like sugar, but it tastes like a fruit sugar. And it is, because monk fruit, I guess, is a fruit. But I will test that this week and see if I can use this all the time and it not register, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. All right. At least you got something to try.
True. So this is what it looks like. Can you see it?
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
familiar with that brand. I use that. I keep that in stuff like this. In my kitchen, I don't even have sugar. We just don't have it. So
Mm-hmm.
I do use that as a sweetener. When I want to have a healthier sweet tea, or I just need, when I'm doing my coffee, my or tea or something like that.
Yeah.
I do use that brand right there.
Okay. I'm
You
glad.
know what? I went to a restaurant last night or 2 nights ago, and one thing I realized is that they always ask, "Do you want dessert after we have eaten everything?" And I'm so thankful that they asked after, because I'm always too full to get dessert. I'm like, I don't want no dessert, and so we have to pass up on that. But I used to take it home. I say, yeah, I want some dessert, but I pack it up and take it home. But now I don't eat it at all, so it works out.
Mhm.
I will say I like finding healthier alternatives to popular desserts. Like I know at the event, everybody got that banana pudding, and
Yeah,
I
right.
swear to God, it looked so good. But I already
But
I already knew I knew that I couldn't do it. I just knew I couldn't do it.
yeah, me too.
Mama Raven, my former mentor, who's an ancestor now, Mama Raven used to do a 3 ingredient banana pudding. Um,
Okay.
Straight bananas or ripe bananas. She gets like the vegan coconut Cool Whip. It's not Cool Whip. Cool Whip is the brand, but it's a vegan coconut cream.
Okay.
Um, what is it? I forgot what the other ingredients, but just putting those three together. Oh, she used like vanilla wafers. Putting those three together gives you the healthiest banana pudding you ever had in life. And it's like
Wow.
probably with half the sugar because you're not adding any extra sugar. She didn't add any extra sugar to it. She sweetness from the banana.
Yeah, well, I learned something new about bananas 2 days ago. Is that the green, the yellow bananas are have much more sweetness, much more sugar, but the green ones are, better for you. So we probably don't even think about buying them. But
I am green, but to get them to like that medium green, yellow phase, yeah. Green bananas are just they're so starchy. They taste starchy.
yeah, yeah, but they don't have as much sugar in them. Yeah.
But it's a fruit sugar. Here's the other thing. It's a fruit sugar. And our bodies are made for the fruit sugar. It's not made for the processed sugar. So, you know, banana stop Charlie horses big potassium. So I'm like, it's like you gotta kind of gauge it. I had a conversation with some seniors one time because they were afraid to eat fruit. And it's like, but you're eating fruit from the can that has the syrup in. That's the bad.
Right.
If you eat a fresh pear, is not gonna spike your blood sugar up like a pear engulfed in syrup.
That's
So
true.
these doctors got people so afraid to eat something as simple as fruit, and it's like, um, where's the fruit coming from? So, and then they also say if you pair the fruit with the fat, then it doesn't spike your blood sugar. Like apples with almond butter or peanut butter or some sort of butter. When you pair the two together, it doesn't spike your blood sugar. It doesn't spike it up just if you ate the apple alone.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Okay, now, well, there are some non-starchy vegetables that support healthy glucose control. The examples are leafy greens, eggs. Oh, wait a minute. Fish and nuts. Okay, they're not all vegetables, but avocados are good. And then we have exercise and blood glucose. Physical activity helps the body use glucose more efficiently. Benefits of exercise. Muscle use glucose for energy during activity. And exercise can lower blood glucose levels. And regular activity improves insulin sensitivity. They're walking around my house here, so some people. Okay, some exercises that you can do that are helpful. Let's see, walking, resistance training, cycling, swimming. Oh my goodness, I want to go swimming. I mean, I like swimming, but that's good. And any kind of stretching exercise is good for glucose. Stressing blood glucose. Stress affects the body both physically and emotionally. When stressed, the body releases hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones can cause the liver to release more glucose into the bloodstream. So we got to be mindful of the stress. And common stressors include illness, lack of sleep, emotional stress, pain, anxiety. Stress may also affect eating habits and physical activity, which can further impact blood glucose. Woo-wee, this blood glucose is paying attention to what we're doing. Okay, medications and blood glucose. Some medications lower blood glucose while others may raise it. Medications that may lower is steroids such as prednisone. Let's see, and blood pressure medications, those affected, and some antidepressants. One thing I learned about steroids can significantly increase blood glucose. I didn't realize that, but I realized, my doctors are always asking me or suggesting I get steroids for whatever I'm dealing with.
Yeah,
And
I had a client that was on steroids, and her blood sugar was consistently in the 400s. But because she was cancer, I think they were more focused on getting the cancer under control. Her doctor purposely kept her on those steroids, so they knew
okay.
they knew it was that high.
Oh wow. So it's interesting, steroids are good for some things, but then if it's raising, your glucose levels and everything, is there a balance? Can we find a balance? I don't know. Let's see. But it's good to prevent your blood sugar levels going too high or too low. I think we said this before. Who should regularly get tested for blood glucose? the type 1 diabetes people, and the type 2 and gestational diabetes. We did talk about that. And if you have a family history of diabetes, which I do, so I know I need to be on top of this myself, especially on my father's side. That side, diabetes comes up quite often. And let's see, in conclusion, let's see, where am I here? Oh, I want to talk a little bit more about steroids. Steroids, especially corticosteroid, such as prednisone, can increase blood glucose levels by causing the body to become more resistant to insulin. This means glucose stays in the bloodstream longer instead of moving into the cells for energy. Let's see. People taking steroid medications may need to check blood glucose levels more often, adjust diet or physical activity, work with a healthcare provider to adjust medications if necessary. Regular blood glucose monitoring helps reduce the risk of complications and supports safer medication use. Okay, in conclusion, early detection leads to better health outcomes. Encouragement to stay consistent with testing and healthy habits. We need to do that. Importance of partnering with healthcare professionals for ongoing care. So I covered it quite a bit today, but I think it was good information. But if you get the opportunity, use one of the methods we talked about and find out how your levels are. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I think that even if you don't have diabetes type 1 or type 2 or one of the ones you mentioned, some people are not aware that they may even have high glucose levels, and there are companies out there that will allow you to purchase a continuous glucose monitor if that's something that's in your budget. And, like, for instance, I don't have diabetes, but simply because I go to the metabolic clinic once a year, it's easier for me to get a prescription for one. I hope they don't eventually say you're not getting one anymore. And I mean, I have to pay for it because my insurance doesn't pay for all of it, but simply because I do go to the metabolic clinic on a regular basis, they give it to me now. And I just think that, even though I don't have diabetes, I always want to know what my glucose looks like when I'm chomping down something,
Okay.
And it's just good to know that, even if your blood sugar goes up, because you ate something, when it comes back down in the normal range within 2 hours, then your pancreas is doing what it needs to do to keep your levels in the right range. So worrying about spikes with eating vegetables and fruits is okay as long as you're not staying high for long periods of time. Because when you stay high for long periods of time, then your pancreas may not be making enough insulin to bring your glucose levels down or get that out of your bloodstream.
Okay.
So I think everybody should check their glucose on a regular basis and not just when they go for their yearly physical, because a lot of times that's when it's too late. People get their diagnosis of diabetes on their 1 year annual physical. And it's a shock to you when you get it then. But if you, like I tell people, be the senior executive officer of your own health, and you take matters in your own hand and not worry about or not depend on seeing your doctor once a year to tell you what's going on with you. knowing your numbers all the time is really, really important.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else have any thing they want to share?
Yeah, this is Lorraine. Yesterday, Danielle brought it to my attention about some marks on your face that they would typically, oh, shoot. Oh, okay, that's not going to work. Um, about, and to check my diabetes, she said sometimes if it shows these marks, and I had never noticed them on my face, right? And so, at the end of the day, I checked my sugar this morning and it was
Uh-huh.
130. And my sugar is always like 109, 100. But I
Right,
haven't checked it in about a year, real talk, because every time I check it, it's like low.
right.
So now I'm going to check my sugar every day just to get an idea, because that was when I got up this morning. So that was fasting. Now,
Okay.
yesterday I ate like a fool at my son's barbecue. So
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure.
ate everything in sight, sweets included. But at the end of the day, sugar is really important, and the whole insulin thing. I'm glad you had this talk. It was very wonderful to have, and I am just so appreciative to be able to get this information, because when you don't have diabetes, it's kind of like, my sugar's okay. That doesn't apply to me, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
maybe not now, but this is like really good information, to have. So
Yes. Well,
thank
I'm
you so
glad you're here.
much
No, thank you
for,
for coming.
oh, absolutely.
I have
Okay.
a
You guys are
question.
good.
Yeah, I have a question.
Because I
Um,
do, yeah, for sometimes for people, especially, and like I said, I noticed it on Lorraine only because I gave somebody some samples the day before, and it's almost like you have on a bronzer. If you're, or sometimes you see people that's a little bit or overweight or obese, they have the dark neck, or they have
Yeah.
a dark, it's almost like you're wearing like a dark blush or something on your face, but it's not blush. That's a telltale sign that what is it? If you have hyperpigmentation on your cheeks, or and you're not wearing makeup or anything like that, it's a telltale sign that your blood sugar is way too high, way too
Yeah.
high. And most people don't recognize it. And the sister, I told her that, and she was like, "Well, I'm diabetic on paper." I'm like, "It don't work like that. Trust
I
me.
know.
Believe it does not work like that." And I told her, look, my case in point, my blood sugar was unmanageable. It was uncontrolled, and I ended up in the hospital not a few weeks ago.
Right.
And you got to know your numbers, and you got to manage that until you know they tell you that you no longer need to
Right.
test, take insulin or anything like that, which can happen if you go hard and really manage it. Most people don't go hard and really.
Right.
So, yeah.
But thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And I wish us all success in finding out where we stand, because that is knowledge is power. I mean, and if we utilize the knowledge, that's even better. So that's great. Great. But you know what?
Queen's hand is up.
Oh, please, Queen. I
see,
didn't see it.
my question is, where does it come from? Why do some have it and some don't? What is it in a body that you know that makes you have that? Does
Okay.
that
I
make
want to make sure I know exactly what that you're talking about.
the sugar diabetes? Is that what we're talking? Is that the name?
Yeah,
Well,
diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes.
Yeah,
What
some people
makes
call it
a
sugar
person
diabetes.
have it? Where does it come from?
well, what I would say is it's really the liver, inside the liver. If it's, what is it giving off? What is it storing? Um, that's my first thought.
I thought it was the
But
pancreas. I thought it was the pancreas not producing enough insulin.
The root
pancreas,
cause, if she may want to know the root cause, right?
Yes.
the root cause is lifestyle. A lot of people don't realize that even though they don't have diabetes, they may have what is called metabolic syndrome. And metabolic syndrome is a cluster of ailments that you may have, like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, and different things like that. There are telltale signs that could say that, okay, on paper, when I go once a year and I've fasted before I've gone, and they take my blood work and it doesn't say that I have diabetes, but all through the year, you may have metabolic syndrome because you have high blood pressure or because your cholesterol levels are high. That is a telltale sign that you are knocking on the door of diabetes, because of lifestyle is what brings that on. And indications that your lifestyle is not where it should be is when you're on medications for things like that.
Okay. Okay. And I do want to say thank you, Nurse Stacy, for sharing that. And also I want to give Danielle mentioned the pancreas.
Mm-hmm.
I believe these organs, they all work doing a part of this, but I remember that it spoke about the liver, and that is something that stands out to me because it's working at night, and though they give those, my numbers come when I check them every day, it comes from what that liver did the night before. So the pancreas does have a part in that. But the science behind all of this, I didn't go over that today in detail. I did talk about the pancreas and the liver and, different organs that are a part of this process, but they all are working.
Wow. Okay.
The pancreas has to make enough insulin to bring your glucose levels down. If your pancreas is working well, it will make enough insulin to bring your glucose levels down. But if the lifestyle change continues year after year after year, your pancreas gets tired because it's working too hard to continually keep it down.
Right.
So when it's tired of working hard, it don't produce enough insulin. And when it doesn't do that, your glucose levels stay high and in the bloodstream. And when it's high and in the bloodstream, it can be stored in your liver, because whatever your body doesn't use as energy gets stored in the liver.
Yeah.
And that's why people end up with fatty liver disease, because they're not monitoring, or they don't have a healthy lifestyle of eating, exercising, and less stress, and sleeping well, and different stuff like that. It's a combination of all of those together.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving more clarification to that situation. Well, you know what? We're actually coming up on the hour. It's been a great conversation. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. But I do want to give you some marching orders, because I'm giving them to myself, is that we have work to do. It's not about sitting on this knowledge and just hearing what we shared today. But you got to move out on it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Anybody feel like they're going, if you can just speak up and say that you're going to march forward and making sure your levels are good.
Well, I'm going to say that I'm going to watch the sugar because I kind of binged yesterday.
Okay.
We brought that cake out.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. And then I went on and took a larger slice to take home with me, and the icing was real thick and stuff,
Ooh.
Matter of fact, I just did my blood pressure, and I am 136 over
Wow.
71. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not bad.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and yeah, I'm pretty proud of this body. And the last time I went to the doctor and I did what you guys told me to do, and Nurse Stacy said that ask about your cholesterol. And that it was funny because that was the one. Everything else I am normal. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Normal. And then when I said when the cholesterol, she said I was off just a little bit. And that's when she was asking about, I said, well, what can cause that? And she was talking about dairy and all that stuff. And I was like, no, and she said, milk. I said, I don't drink milk. And then she said almond milk. And then I said, well, I don't like drink it. I said, yeah, but I do use it in the cornbread. That's all. And so yeah, so I was just glad that I was happy. And it gives you when your body is going through stress because it's dealing with something, you just are unsure about a lot of things. And
Yeah.
so seeing your numbers, and that's what I was talking about. Anyway, know your numbers. So I was just thanking God that I'm in good shape. I'm just going through a few things, and this too shall pass because I am going through them,
Okay.
and so that they heal, the mouth and the
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thank God for one, this show, and I thank God for the team that I had, my medical team now. They're
Yeah.
on top of it for me. So I just thank God, and I thank God for each and every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I said, "Oh, let me check my blood pressure and see what's going on." And I was happy about 136.
That is good. Can anyone hear me?
I
I
can,
can hear
you
you.
can.
Yeah, my phone is like half on. I was seeing you for a while and tried to get into mute, unmute, and then I can't see anybody.
Yeah.
But one of the things I wanted to ask us to share is what do you do the day after you've known, you've been binging, kind of, you ate more sweets, you ate more high cholesterol foods and all. You celebrated. It was a birthday party or like yesterday. What do we do the next day that could help us get back in balance?
Well,
Well, let me speak for myself. I fast. I don't eat anything the next day. I drink some electrolyte water or something, but I don't eat
Mhm.
anything. That's what
For
I do.
for the 24 hours, the whole
24,
day.
definitely. I mean, or more. Yeah.
Because I think that could be really important for us. One of the things I've heard is, talking with different people, is that there's something about that day where you let it all hang out, kind of
Uh-huh.
eliminate everything, that the body begins to um, assist you in craving more.
Mm,
And it's a strange kind of thing, but I've heard several people say, "Girl, I had that chocolate cake. I hadn't had chocolate cake in 6 months or a year, and
right.
now every time I see chocolate cake,
She wants some more.
I want some more." And some of them couldn't resist, and
Right.
so they looked back 3 weeks later and realized they had been back, had gotten back into eating more of the stuff they did not need.
Right. Right. That makes sense though. It does.
I'm gonna
That's
say
that dopamine effect,
it's
the
suggested
pleasure
that
center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fasting is what Deidre has suggested. Um, and is there anything else that anybody has done to, make sure you get back to what you need to be doing?
well, it's suggested that you do some sort of movement for 30 minutes, like the day of. burn up that those extra carbs and those extra sugars. So like it's okay to go out to a party and eat, but what I see, most people don't get up and dance no more. They don't get up and move. Everybody gets tired and sluggish and lethargic, and they just sit there. And the worst thing you can do is eat and sit and let that food just sit on your stomach. They got people go for a walk. I know the doctors are go for a walk for 30 minutes after after you eat, because that's going to get it to start to burn off.
Okay.
Madam
But
Finance.
not the next day though. Not the next day. You don't want it to sit. If you eat, you want to get up and like move. Not as soon as possible. Give it like 30 minutes. But get up and move. Get up and walk. Get up and dance. Do something to actually burn it off.
Okay.
Lakeisha's hand is up.
Yeah, what I normally do is I detox. That night, I take moringa detox bitters. I take that, and then I make sure the next day that I count my calories. I do calorie count. So if I splurge, then I'm not going to eat a whole lot the next day, and I'm definitely going to detox
Would
right before I
water,
go to bed.
would drinking a lot of water help as well?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's always good to drink water all day, every day, especially with the weather being hot. Yeah, I drank a lot of water out here in the yard yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Okay.
you say a lot of water, you're talking about more than 8.
Yeah, more than what you normally do. Drink a lot more because of what you put in your body and to help flush it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you should drink at least half of your body weight in fluids. The minimum they want anybody to drink is 64 ounces so you don't dehydrate. But if you can do half of your body weight, like for me, I'm supposed to do almost 100 ounces of water. Very hard to do for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you, because, there's so many choices. And like Danielle is saying, the real party is one where you eat and have all this joy vibration of your favorite foods, and then you get up and dance.
Right.
It's as we get older and we deal with um, the mores and things in our culture. If you didn't have a partner with you, well, you can't dance. But I'm so proud of those people who just get up and dance
Right.
themselves.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, just enjoy. Well, thank you. That's a good
And
response.
thank you for what you shared. But also I want to encourage us all, we go out to different engagements and parties. And when it comes to food, they normally have food there for you. Is just be able to look at it and say, oh, maybe realize how it tastes, but you don't have to put it in your body. You can still think about it. I know this is hard. I'm talking to myself right now, really. But we don't have to eat that stuff. Just look at it and say, oh, okay. Because we've tasted it before. Everything that comes on a table, for the most part, we tasted. If it's chocolate cake, we had that before. But
Right.
learn how to restrain,
Yeah.
step back and say, okay, I've had that. I know how it tastes, but I don't have to eat it. Mm-mm. That's me. I'm
Okay.
growing. I'm growing.
So true.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Restrain,
It's 10:08
sustain.
now.
Okay, well, let's give ourselves a hug, because we are lovable and we are loving and we are love. And let's give the world some love. Let's love the world, because they could use a hug. And then sprinkle down some goodness. Yay. And I want each and every one of you to have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Awesome. Deitra
Thank
and
you.
Stacy, can you stay
Well,
on for a second, please?
Pardon me?
What's that,
I
Queen?
want Deitra and Stacy to stay on for a second.
Okay, will do. Okay. Peace,
Peace and love,
everybody.
y'all.
Peace and
lady.
love for everybody.
Peace and love.